Yes, 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 yes. Man, we are back alive. Man, we started out saying we were just going to go live, man, every Tuesday. But, man, due to the demand, due to the people DMing us, calling us, trying to get the insight, man, I said, man, let's go ahead and rock and roll today. So we'll see where this goes, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Jerron Tyler, founder of Posterity, an AI-powered business credit software that helps entrepreneurs build, grow, and expand, and also maximize their business funding spread, their business credit, if you will. It's a thing that I have just grown to be extremely obsessive about, and excited about. Man, business credit in and of itself is so powerful, it's so dynamic. In a lot of instances, it could serve as a great enigma because so many people just don't know how to go about it and how to navigate it. And so, with that being said, we're coming to you back live today to make sure, first off, that our lighting is good. And we're coming back to you live today to answer questions that came our way. And so, we may have anywhere between about 15 to 20 to 25 questions that I want to answer for you guys. And so, man, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we are going to rock and roll. If you guys are not already subscribed, if you guys have not already subscribed, we ask that, man, if you find value in the channel, subscribe, like, comment, say something. Let us know this ain't just AI working right now, but we got real people with real dreams and real visions and real ideas and real concepts. Amen. All right, so the first question we have here is Jerron, I just opened up an LLC 3 months ago. What funding products should I realistically be applying to right now? All right, that's a jam-packed question. So if you just opened an LLC 3 months ago, that right there is great. There's a seasoning period that comes along with funding that can help you out tremendously. And what I mean by seasoning is if you've had an LLC for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, if you had an LLC for a year, if you had an LLC for 2 years, right? This brings great benefit to you when you're going through the underwriting process. However, that is not the whole story when it comes along with getting approved for something, right? Just because you had an LLC for a short period of time or a long period of time does not justify or constitute that you will automatically get approved. It doesn't automatically result in that. So with that being said, this is one case. We have an LLC for 3 months. The next thing that we need to consider is, what industry are you in? Is it a high risk industry? Is it a low risk industry? But more importantly, we want to begin to assess two things. We want to assess your credit, and we also want to assess your revenue. If you have a 700 credit score, you could practically go anywhere in the country and apply for a business credit card. So starting out, the one thing that you want to do is you want to put your focus on business credit cards. You want to put that above business lines of credit, above business loans, above business auto loans. You want to focus on business credit cards. If that credit score is a 700, at bare minimum, a 680. All right. And so from there, the next thing that you want to do is you want to consider your revenue. Now, this is a key component in getting approved. Once you're in business for quite some time, but this is a key component in getting approved. You want to make sure that your revenue is in alignment. Well, Jerron, what should I be aiming at as far as revenue is concerned? If you are brand new, just starting out in business, and man, you're just starting out, I would highly recommend that you are aiming at 6 and 7 figures. Now, that may sound bizarre, that may sound crazy, but I'm not here to sell you on your limitations. I'm here to sell you on the possibilities of the greatness that is within you. And so I would be aiming at 6 and 7 figures. I will be putting a plan together at bare minimum that I can make at least $7,000 a month, at least $8,000 a month. Man, the name of the game right now is aim. The name of the game is aim. You got to at least aim at it. You got to at least aim at it. We're going to at least aim at it. You shoot for the stars, baby. And if you fall short, man, at least you'll land somewhere in the land, right? And so, man, those are the two things that you want to focus on. But the first product that I would look at qualifying for or applying for would be a business credit card. All right, great question. So, Jerron, why do banks ask for bank statements if my credit is already strong? So it just depends on what you're applying for. Now, if your credit is already strong and you're applying for a business credit card, there's going to be a 98 to 99% chance that they'll never ask for bank statements. So I'll give you an example, or they'll never ask to look at your income on your bank statement. So, for example, we come here, and as you guys heard me say, there's a 98 to 99% chance that a bank will ever ask for your actual bank statements. Well, Jerron, what is the other 1% or 2%? The other 2% would be through potential credit unions. And so a lot of times what we'll see is credit unions will come off and they will ask for bank statements. And so with that being said, if you are just starting out and you really don't have much revenue to show, then I would recommend that you stay away from a credit union, right? Stay away from a credit union, and also stay away from those institutions that provide business lines of credit, specifically income driven or revenue based. So you have revenue based business lines of credit out there that they don't care much about. Like, yeah, they care about your credit score, that you have a decent credit score, decent being, 620, 630, 640 and above. But beyond that, they're not as, gung-ho, if you will, about looking at those particular bank statements. Or a credit score, if you will. And so with that being said, there are some institutions that care about your bank statements, and then there are some that don't. The main thing you want to do is you want to begin penetrating those institutions that don't, right? That's point blank period. You want to penetrate the institutions that don't, because the reality of it is you can go out here and get $100,000, $150,000, $250,000 whatever having to show bank statements, right? So it's all about the credit piece, right? So that's one of the things that you guys want to consider as well. All right, so we got another great question. All right, Jerron, can having too many accounts hurt my approval odds? 100%. Now, too many personal accounts in a short time frame. If you're somebody that has 20 different trade lines right now and you've had them over the span of, like, let's say 10 years, that's not going to affect you. But if you just recently went and opened up 6 credit cards or 7 credit cards, 9 credit cards, and then now you're on the 3 months from now, you go and try to open up 5 more, this right here looks high risk. It looks risky, right? And so with that being said, one of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you are considering time frames, right? So for example, I'll give you guys this illustration. Let's say you got, a bank account here with a credit card. You went and opened up another bank. You went and opened up another bank. You went and opened up another bank, and you went and opened up another bank, and you went and opened up another bank, and then you went and opened up another bank, and then you went and opened up another bank, right? So when I'm saying bank, I'm talking about credit cards right here. So you went and opened up technically 8 credit cards. Now you opened up these 8 credit cards, and let's just say hypothetically you did them all in the month of January. Well, now you have inquiries. Now your credit score has probably dropped a little bit because your age has dropped because you've garnered so many credit cards now. But now you're also in a situation where you come down and you say, well, you know what? It's April now, and I just found this new credit card that I want. Well, guess what? This new credit card company, they're looking and they're seeing that, wow, Mr. or Mrs. Ma'am, you actually came and you opened up 8 different accounts just 3 months ago. This looks high risk. And so with that being said, you don't want to get caught up in the bucket of being high risk because you opened up what? Too many accounts in a short period of time. And so these are the things that you want to keep a lookout on, because they can surely affect you in the long haul. You want to be strategic. If I want to go open up accounts, I want to kind of do all of them at the same time, right? You want to be strategic in your approach in garnering those particular accounts. All right, another phenomenal question. This is a phenomenal question. So, Jerron, what is the ideal business profile? Am I reading this right? Yeah. What's the ideal business profile before applying for a $50,000 line of credit? Wow. So ideal business credit profile Before somebody applies for a business line of credit, the first thing that I would do is the first thing that I would look at is I would look at revenue. I want to look at revenue because when you start talking about amounts like 25,000, 30, 40, 50, 60, $100,000, those are not amounts on a business line of credit where somebody's just going to give you that without being able to show approved documentation. And so ideally in the perfect world, I want my revenue from my business to be at bare minimum 15 to $20,000 at minimum. I want to be bringing in at least $15 to $20,000. In addition to that, I want to be in a position where I have at least a 700 plus credit score, right? This gives me the opportunity to win on both sides. I'm winning on the revenue side, and then I'm also winning on the side of my actual credit score, right? And so this right here gives you an advantage along the way prior to going in and applying. Another thing that I would do outside of the question was, what should my profile look like? Man, after that, I would try to penetrate the banking institution that you have the most activity with, the banking institution that you have a relationship with. Who do you actually bank with right now in your business? Right? This is where you want to go. This is who you want to take advantage of. This is where you want to engage and penetrate because you're going to have more favor, right? You're going to have more upside. There's more familiarity there. Instead of going to a banking institution that you know not of and knows not of you, if you will, right? And so those are the two things you want to look at. You want to look at revenue and you want to look at your actual credit score. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, yeah. So, Jerron, should I apply for multiple credit cards in the same day? Absolutely. 100,000%. You got 3 credit bureaus on your personal side that are the most utilized credit bureaus. You got TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. However, man, most of the banks are going to only pull an inquiry from one actual bureau, right? And so, with that being said, let's take a look at it. So we got TransUnion, we got Experian, we got Equifax. Now, with TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, let's say you went to Discover Bank. Discover may come and pull from Experian. Let's say you went to American Express, Amex, they may pull from Experian. And then let's say you went to NASA, Federal Credit Union, and they came here and they also pulled from Experian. Well, guess what? You have 3 inquiries right now, but you only have 3 inquiries on this one bureau. You haven't touched this one yet, nor have you touched Equifax. So you're in a situation where you're able to maximize your situation, right? You're maximizing your situation, putting yourself in the optimal space where you can go in and now come to TransUnion and then come to Equifax. We might come to TransUnion, or we might come to Equifax and see the Equifax. We can come here and we can apply for Citibank, and then we can come here and we can also apply for Truist Bank. And then after Truist Bank, we came here and then we also went and applied for another credit union. So now we have a total of 3 inquiries here. Now it's 6 total, but the actual damage or impact, if you will, only came to these 2, Experian and Equifax. So we still have TransUnion to play around with. So now your job as the business owner, the funder, if you will, would be to either go out and do this yourself, or to go out and actually find an expert in the marketplace like myself or someone else that can actually help and assist you along the way. Because what we do is we hyper focus and obsess over where banks actually pull from. We know specifically who pulls from TransUnion, specifically who's going to pull from Equifax, and specifically who's going to pull from Experian. And so this right here is what you want to know to be able to go and maximize that particular situation. Okay, so to answer your question, absolutely. The goal is to apply for as many cards as possible right then and there. You apply, you get funded, and then the key to the funding is to go and deploy that capital, right? You want to deploy the capital. I want to tell you guys, money is a depreciating asset. A lot of times we can reference it or refer to money just as a resource, right? Yeah, resource, but it is a depreciating asset, just like a car. It's a depreciating asset, just like some clothes. It's a depreciating asset, just like electronics. Why is it a depreciating asset? It is continually losing its value daily. It's always losing its value. This is why, you see situations where, man, housing prices, people are looking to deploy that capital to put it inside of an asset that will continually grow stronger, period. That is the name of the game. You hear people all the time say, well, you're leaving your money in that bank account and it's losing money. Why is it losing money? Because it's not being able to overcome the whole concept of inflation, right? It's not able to keep up with inflation. It's not able to keep up with the increase of value of houses, right? And so, with that being said, it is a depreciating asset. So when you get your hands on it, the whole mission is to deploy it. How can I take this capital and deploy it? I need to get the capital out there and deploy it. Period. Like I need to invest it somewhere, whether that's in a business, whether that's in real estate, whether that's in some type of investment account, because I need to keep up with the speed. Okay, another great question. I'm sorry. I thought am I reading it right? Okay, do lenders care if my business has a virtual address? Incredible question. Somebody say incredible question. Incredible question. Do they care? They do not care about a virtual address. However, it is prohibited for you to have a P.O. box. I would even say that it is prohibited for you to go out and gain maximum funding if you are utilizing your home as your business address. Now, again, I said if you're trying to go out and maximize it, you can get business funding utilizing a personal address. But if you want to go out and maximize your funding, at some point along the line, you're going to need to either get a virtual address or a actual brick and mortar address, because banks are going to look at you like, why would we give you $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, and you haven't even invested in the establishment of your business? Why would you want your address attached to your home? Your address is attached to your home, and people can go and look up your business in the state and see exactly where you lay your head at, right? Not only is that unsafe, but it's unprofessional. So you want to make sure that you have a actual address tied to your business, again, in order to maximize that funding. Remember, P.O. boxes are off the table. Banks hate P.O. boxes, right? They do not stand as legitimate addresses to carry out your business. So, phenomenal question. Awesome. So, this is a really, 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 really good question. Jerron, what's the biggest difference between the SBA underwriting and traditional bank underwriting? So they have a ton of similarities. Obviously, they are credit focused. They are also business focused. When you start talking about revenue, they're also heavily focused on the structure of your business. But when you start talking about the SBA stands for the Small Business Administration, and they are in alignment with the government. And so they go do a super deep dive interrogation. This was when I went through the SBA, it was probably one of the most rigorous underwriting processes, because they want to know everything about all of your active LLCs. So if you own real estate that's under an LLC, if you own a couple of businesses that are under LLCs, they want to see all of that. They want to see profit and loss statements. They want to see balance sheets. Obviously, they want to see tax returns. My friend, they want to know about your spouse. Okay, if your spouse is attached to any business, if your spouse is living with you, they are looking at their income in some instances, right? And so the SBA is probably one of the most aggressive and rigorous underwriting processes out there. Now, when you start talking about traditional bank underwriting, I've never had a bank ask me about another LLC. Not saying that it's impossible for them to do, but I've never had them ask me any information about any of my other LLCs. They were only focused on the LLC that I was going to get funding with. Okay. And so, again, that's the main difference. The main difference is that when you go through the SBA, you are going to have a, I don't know why this just dropped in my spirit, but a near death experience, man. People are crazy, but it's going to be a rigorous time. right? They're going to ask you, they're going to question you down to the ground. Another thing that you guys need to know about the SBA is that the SBA's funding process, at bare minimum, can take about 60 to 90 days. 60 to 90 days for the SBA, right? Versus traditional bank funding, for the most part, you can know if you are approved for a product within like a week at max, right? I've never had a bank actually take more than a week. If they do, then there'll definitely be correspondence in between. There's communication, perhaps with them asking questions and things of that nature. So, man, primary difference is going with the SBA. They are going to want to see every single piece of documentation that you have. All right, last 2 years, last 2 years, tax returns, profit and loss statement, balance sheet. They're gonna want to know, what is your business plan? They're going super deep in that mode. So, yeah, man, phenomenal question, man. Just wanted to do a quick live. We've been on for 20 minutes now, and man, have man, some more work to get to with our team. So, man, we are going to end the live. Thank you guys for tapping in. If anybody needs any help and assistance with anything, you guys can tap in with us on all platforms. We also have our booking inside of the description, so you guys can take a look at that. You guys want to schedule a call or tap in, gain more insight, information, and knowledge. And if you haven't already, man, you can like, comment, subscribe, share this live with somebody that is on their journey right now of man, just being incredibly dynamically successful, but primarily in the business funding space. So, man, appreciate you guys, love you all, and I will talk to you soon. Have a blessed one on purpose.